Let's talk about going to when used for the future and for present continuous sentences. Let's look at our first example. I am going to take a holiday next week. Okay, so here, this am going to acts like a helper verb for the main verb take. This am going to acts very much like the helper verb will. I will take a holiday next week. I am going to take a holiday next week. They're very similar in how we use them. And a lot of times people will say, well, isn't this a continuous sentence? With this am going, that's a continuous construction. And then this to take is an infinitive, but that's not how we use it. This is actually, if we're going to look at how it's used, this am going to is used like a helper verb. Let's look at another one. They are going to exercise after work. Okay, so once again, this are going to acts very, very similar to the helper verb will would act. And it talks about that this action, exercise, is going to happen, will happen after work. We're talking about the future. We are not talking about a continuous action. We're talking about the future. Next example. He is going to the park. Now in this case, is going is the present continuous. Here we are talking about a continuous action. When we're talking about he is going to the park. He is in the process of going. He is moving towards the park. Here it is used as a continuous. Going, and then to the park is a prepositional phrase talking about where the going is happening, where it's going to, the direction of the going. She is going shopping. Okay, here this is going is a continuous tense. And the shopping is a noun. It's a verbal, an ing verb form that's acting as a noun, the act of shopping. So this is where she's going. She's going to do shopping. She's going shopping. The next one. Now, I've had people push back on this before and said, no, this am going to take and am going to exercise are present continuous sentences, and then this to exercise after work is a infinitive phrase talking about the going. This is a continuous. This is a continuous. It's really not. And this sentence down here shows very clearly that it is talking about the future and is not talking about a continuous going. We are going to stay home tonight. Now, this are going to is acting like a helper verb talking about the future very clearly. This could be used you could use will instead of the are going to. We will stay home tonight. And because we're using the main verb stay, it makes it very, very clear because we are going. If it were continuous, we are going to stay. How can you go to stay where you are? You can't. This is clearly a helper verb talking about a future action. The future action is staying at home. Are going to shows the future. It's what we call the going to future. Last thing I want to mention is gonna. When English speakers use going to in casual speech, we often replace going to with gonna. So for example, I'm gonna take a holiday next week. They're gonna exercise after work. You do it very, very often, especially in casual, informal situations. You're going to hear that all the time. So if you hear gonna, it's basically talking about the future, and is very similar to using will. There are differences, which we can get into later. I have another video on my other channel talking about the differences between going to and will when talking about the future. But just remember that you're gonna hear gonna. You're gonna hear gonna. You're gonna hear gonna. So, okay, well, I hope this video was helpful to you. If you liked it, please click the like button. Leave your questions or comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to this channel, Whiteboard Gurus, if you have not already. And share this video with anyone who you think will find it helpful. All right, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.